Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Cedric and I am going to be talking today to you about the new addition of self-update support to Geoffrey or build and delivery SaaS that we are working on at Fyne Labs. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to keep all your application that your user have on their desktop up to date thanks to that feature. And for that, I'm going to actually create a private repository fork of Nomad, an application we have done earlier this year. And this application is just the Nomad that we released, but with a little bit of custom code to enable self-update. And so first off, the first thing you have to do in your project is to enable this self-update by clicking this little bit there, which is to enable the hosting to support the application updating itself. Once the project is saved, that's pretty much what you have to really do on this side. We're going to start the build so that it's ready when we're done with this talk. And at the same time, if you go here in the menu, you can see the code that you need to put into your application. So the first big part here is going to be in its own file. And as you can see, if you have been to our documentation earlier on Find Self-Update and Self-Update module, you will see it's basically straight out of the examples. The only thing that is slightly different here is that we are providing you with the public key to use. We keep the private key stored into a safe container, and we never expose it to anyone outside of Geoffrey. So you can share that public key in open source software and have that there. You can have it anywhere. It's really not a big deal because it's only going to be used to check that the artifacts that you are downloading are going to be of the right from the right source. We provide you also with the right URL and everything, but basically you don't even have to write any of this code. You just can copy it and that's it. It will be in your copy buffer. The second line is to call, obviously, that new function into your application. So let's go into looking at our GitHub repository where we have put that code and see how does that look. So on the right here, I've just copy and paste the code from Geoffrey. So that has nothing to be changed, nothing to be touched. You can customize it a little bit if you want to change like the schedule or things like that, but honestly, not really that interesting. The Find Self-Update module will automatically do pop-up to ask for the question to your user when they want to restart, start a download, restart, and things like that. You can customize this this part of the UI. Just I will refer you to the Find Self-Update documentation and the Self-Update documentation if you want to do any modification to that code. On the main side, on the main itself, as you can see, we just call self-manage just before doing show and run. And that's so that we can provide the window and that we can provide the information for the self-manage to be able to restart the application and to be able to do display their pop-ups and things like that. And when that's done, that's it pretty much. You just now need to deploy your build, and that will be it. So let's go back to Geoffrey, and it should be pretty close to being done from building our application. And voila, it is now built. And so if we go there, I've been building only for Linux there to be a bit fast enough for this 5-minute demo. But when it's done, the first thing that you usually do is to download this binary, and you will check that it does behave the way you want, doing basically your QA there. And if it looks good, and if you think it's ready for being used by your customer and users, you can just click the publish button, and ta-da! That's going to be it. All the application will now, at the next scheduled interval, check if the file is up to date in their CDN, and pick it up and download and update. And your user are going to have their application up to date with just that amount of work. And actually, because everyone liked a live demo, let me just show you how a Nomad look like when it does update itself. So I made just a small design change. And as you can see, it does pick up instantly, or that there's a new version at startup. That's a role we've put into the schedule. It is going to now download their image of their new binary. So let's go it quickly to the end. And it is now date, and it's ready to restart. So I kind of want that so we can see it. And great design choice. I do not recommend my design taste, but here it is in black. So voila. If you're interested by Geoffrey, just go on fynelab.com/Geoffrey and check it out, and we will be getting in touch.